probability of us. Eleanor Vance lived and breathed data. As a senior analyst at a popular dating app, Matchmade, she spent her days crunching numbers, analyzing algorithms, and predicting the compatibility of potential couples. She could tell you the probability of a successful relationship based on everything from shared hobbies to preferred pizza toppings. Eleanor understood love as a science, a series of predictable patterns and quantifiable variables. What Eleanor didn't understand was her own love life. Her apartment was a testament to her analytical mind, meticulously organized, color-coded, and filled with charts and graphs detailing everything from her daily calorie intake to her weekly sleep schedule. But her romantic history was a chaotic mess, a string of disastrous dates and failed relationships that defied all logic and statistical analysis. Eleanor had tried to apply her data-driven approach to her own love life, creating spreadsheets to track potential partners, assigning scores based on compatibility factors, and even developing an algorithm to predict the outcome of each date. But nothing seemed to work. Her relationships always ended in a spectacular fashion, leaving her confused and frustrated. Her best friend Chloe, a bubbly and free-spirited artist, often teased her about her obsession with data. "Ellie, love isn't a formula," she would say. "It's messy, unpredictable, and completely irrational. You can't analyze it, you have to feel it." Eleanor scoffed at Chloe's romantic notions. "Feelings are unreliable," she would retort. "Data is objective, tells you the truth." But deep down, Eleanor knew that Chloe was right. Her data-driven approach had failed her time and time again. She was an expert at predicting the success of other people's relationships, but she was completely clueless. When it came to her own, her latest project at Matchmade was to develop a new algorithm that could predict the long-term compatibility of couples based on their social media activity. Eleanor threw herself into the project, determined to prove that love could be quantified, that even the most complex emotions could be reduced to a series of data points. As she delved deeper into the project, Eleanor started to notice a pattern. The most successful couples weren't the ones with the highest compatibility scores. They were the ones who embraced the unexpected, who were willing to take risks, and who weren't afraid to be vulnerable. Eleanor realized that she had been so focused on finding the perfect match that she had completely overlooked the importance of human connection. She had been treating love like a math problem when it was actually a messy, unpredictable, and beautiful experiment. One day, while working late in the office, Eleanor stumbled upon a profile that caught her eye. His name was Ben, and he was a software engineer at a rival dating app. His profile was simple, honest, and surprisingly charming. He listed his hobbies as hiking, cooking, and playing the ukulele. Eleanor was intrigued. Ben didn't fit her usual criteria for a potential partner. He wasn't particularly ambitious, he didn't have a high social media score, and his compatibility score with her was only a measly 62%. But there was something about him that resonated with her, a sense of authenticity that she found incredibly appealing. On a whim, Eleanor decided to reach out to Ben. She sent him a message, complimenting his ukulele skills and asking if he had any recommendations for hiking trails in the area. To her surprise, Ben responded almost immediately. He thanked her for the compliment and offered to take her on a hike himself. Eleanor hesitated. Going on a date with Ben would be a complete departure from her usual approach. He didn't fit her algorithm. He didn't meet her criteria. The probability of a successful relationship was statistically low. But something inside her told her to take a chance. She had spent so long analyzing love, she had forgotten what it felt like to actually experience it. "I'd love that," Eleanor replied. Their first date was a disaster. Eleanor, nervous and self-conscious, spent the entire hike analyzing Ben's every move, calculating the probability of their compatibility, and mentally critiquing his hiking technique. Ben, sensing her discomfort, tried his best to make her feel at ease, but Eleanor's analytical mind was in overdrive. At the end of the hike, Eleanor was convinced that there was no chance of a second date. Ben was nice, but he simply didn't fit her algorithm. To her surprise, Ben called her the next day. He admitted that he had sensed her discomfort on the hike, but he said that he had enjoyed her company nonetheless. He asked her if she would be willing to give him another chance. Eleanor was taken aback. She had expected Ben to run for the hills, not to ask her out again. "I'm not sure," Eleanor said hesitantly. "I'm kind of a mess." "I know," Ben said with a laugh. "But I like your mess." Eleanor was touched by his honesty. She realized that Ben wasn't looking for a perfect match. He was looking for a real connection, someone who was willing to be vulnerable and authentic, Eleanor said. One more date. Their second date was much better. Eleanor, determined to let go of her analytical tendencies, tried to relax and enjoy herself. She listened to Ben's stories, laughed at his jokes, and even shared some of her own vulnerabilities. To her surprise, she found herself having fun. Ben was kind, funny, and genuinely interested in her. He didn't try to analyze her. He didn't try to fix her. He simply accepted her for who she was. As they walked home that night, Eleanor realized that she was starting to fall for Ben. He wasn't her perfect match. He didn't fit her algorithm, and the probability of a successful relationship was still statistically low. But he made her happy, he made her laugh, and he made her feel like she could be herself. Eleanor decided to abandon her data-driven approach to love. She stopped analyzing Ben, she stopped calculating probabilities, and she started to simply enjoy his company. Their relationship blossomed, defying all logic and statistical analysis. They went on adventures together. They supported each other's dreams. They learned to embrace the messy, unpredictable beauty of love. Eleanor finally understood that love wasn't a science, it was an art. It couldn't be quantified, it couldn't be predicted, and it couldn't be controlled. It was a force of nature, a chaotic and beautiful mess that defied all logic and reason. And as she looked at Ben, his eyes sparkling with love and laughter, Eleanor knew that she had finally found her own perfect match. Not in the data, but in the messy, unpredictable, and beautiful probability of us.